understanding that it will really take double the effort that he has put in to be able to get past the net defense of the Philippines. Better angle taken away from Malabunga and beating the coverage as well. 2 straight points for Vietnam. Down 1, now up by a single point.
Retamar tossing it up for Brian Bagunas. And look at Malabunga fish out the blocker. It was clear as day for Brian at the top of the net.
That's why familiarity is so very important for teammates. Knowing what your teammate needs to get open and be isolated instead of being defended by a double block.
And Espejo gives the Philippines back the lead. (14-13). Marcos guiding that ball
Just enough height.
towards the way of Brian Bagunas.
And again, former teammates helping each other out, secure a vital point for the blue shirts, or our blue boys. 2-point lead, Team Philippines versus Vietnam. Philippines up by a set, winning the first set handily versus the third place team of the 2017 Southeast Asian Games, Vietnam.
And Vietnam unable to send that back towards the way of the Philippines. And look at the energy. Our squad is hooked up as we take a 16-13 lead here in set number 2. This is the scene inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City as the Philippines looks to attain a spot in the semifinals via a victory tonight against Vietnam.
Excellent first ball for Vietnam, enabling themselves to launch a quick point of attack. A fake running hit, good height. Once again for their top scorer, T3.
Ball is up in the air. Blocker, sinabayan si De Guzman. Ooh.
Two straight points for Vietnam. Still a 1-point lead for the Philippines. They have not scored since reaching 16.
There's the hit. Once again. By Tu Than Tuan.
But that will be sailing out. Philippines fortunate once again. Earlier we made something out of nothing and scored our 16th point to build a 2-point lead or 3-point lead. Heading to the second technical timeout now when Vietnam was about to tie the count at 16. Vietnam will not be able to score on an open hit coming from T3. But on the return play, Vietnam will score another fake slide play, and then a back row play, a back row hit rather for Tuan.
So once again, Coach Ronnie, the reliance on Tu Thanh Tuan is on display here for the Vietnamese side.
Right.
Espejo.
Off the block coming from one of the top players in the country, Espejo, who rises to the occasion. Retamar goes to, of course, one of our top scorers, one of our best attackers, one of our top spikers.
Back set. And again, Tu Thanh Tuan all over it. Here in set number 2, Espejo all alone up top. Iniwasan lang ni Tu Thanh Tuan.
2 back row points scored earlier by Tuan. Now from the opposite, still not a problem for him. Vietnam chasing the Philippines. Philippines still up by 1. Make that 2, and the 1-point barrier still holds for Espejo and the rest of the Philippine team. This time it's Sara with this misdirection, freeing up Espejo to be isolated against the single block.
Retamar. Here's the toss, the hit, the recovery. Espejo sends it back to the side of Vietnam. It's going to be a free ball for the Philippines that goes outside.
Espejo faking a strong hit, going off speed. And the blockers were off balanced. And then on a counter push, Vietnam will give up another point to the Philippines. 3-point lead restored by the Philippines, and we have hit 20 points to the 17 of Vietnam at this stage of the second set.
Vietnam trying to hold on as the Philippines just 5 points away from taking a 2-0 lead.
While the Philippines is aiming to pull away from the clutches of the bronze medalists of 2017, trying to eliminate Vietnam in the running while trying to push their chances to land a medal in the knockout stage of the Southeast Asian Games.
And end the streak of Vietnam also of podium finishes in the Southeast Asian Games. Bagunas had to adjust. Left-handed tip does not fall. And again, Vietnam's main man continues to do damage.
Just like Retamar, when the need arises, you go to your go-to player. It's Espejo for the Philippines, and it's T3 for Vietnam.
Retamar, back set for Espejo.
Napakasipag magpasabit o magpakagat ng mga middle blockers, even for Vietnam. And that's why time and again you see spikers isolated. Sara faking, delaying the second blocker. Espejo will not be denied in that kind of a situation. Tagal-tagal tayo nakaiwas sa service error. Pero sa ating nais makadikit sa panalo sa second set, mabibigyan natin ng isang puntos ang Vietnam. We're still up by 2 points. 21-19. What adjustment coming from Retamar. And that is the advantage when you have a tall setter. Tall and lengthy, and Bagunas will finish off the 22nd point for the Philippines. Akala mo bibigay kay Saura. Look at the ability of Retamar to make the adjustment in mid-air. Again, the connection between two former teammates to give the Philippines a 3-point lead.
And he did it with just one hand too.
Correct.
Which makes it all the more impressive. Kaya lang, hindi na nahabol ng Pilipinas. Tooth Antoine is really like a machine. Just won't stop.
Just like T4. Oh,
Espejo had no choice but to just toss it over to the other side.
tremendous effort coming from Kim Malabunga, keeping his eye on the counter play after a free ball was given by Espejo. That's the maturity shown by Kim Malabunga, easily one of the tallest players for the country.
And for the first time in these Southeast Asian Games, Ranran Abdillah is now in for the Philippines. Jesse Lopez. And there we see the leadership from the legend from FEU.
Substitution for Vietnam, number 8 out, number 9,
Champion, best server, best setter in the UAAP, and game changer, especially in that first set against Cambodia.
And a very good locker room teammate, kasamang Anton. Very important. The positive influence that the veterans will emit to the younger players. Just like that, after that excellent serve coming from Lopez, if this challenge is unsuccessful, the Philippines will have 4 set points against Vietnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was successful.
Tumama sa daliri, coach.
Clear as day. Vietnam gets a point back. Let's see if Vietnam will be able to shatter the 2-point barrier. Kanina yung isa gusto nilang burayan. Ngayon, katapos sumampas sa tatlo, gusto nilang lampasan itong 2-point barrier na nakaharang sa kanila. But that very long serve will give the Philippines 3 set points. This is the first line of offense that you have to exploit to put pressure on the defense of the opponent. We had 9 service aces against Cambodia. Vietnam, a total of 1 service ace in 75 minutes versus Indonesia in their first match.
Bagunas.
Oh yes.
And he gets an ace to close set number 2. Brian Bagunas.
One set away to make it to the semis, to the medal round for Team Philippines.
Number 1, Brian Bagunas loading up the bazooka to get that service ace. And more importantly, the victory here in set number 2. One more set victory away from booking a trip to the